The episode starts with Sophia doing a photo shoot for her store. She found a model on MySpace who agreed to do a free photo shoot for Sophia in exchange for the pictures for her portfolio. It was a win-win. Annie is in charge of the hair and makeup, and being Sophia's best friend, she is doing it for free. But she can't help but find the model a little weird, more like an extraterrestrial being than a human. After the photo shoot, Sophia gets on MySpace to work on her store profile, while Annie hangs around her apartment. When Annie finds out that Sophia does not have Annie in her top 8 on MySpace, she is hurt. It is the only public way to let people know who matters to you. Sophia only bumped her down to establish her brand name, but Annie feels strongly about this. When Sophia refuses to put Annie back on her list, Annie's hurt only grows. She hates how Sophia can't understand why being in her top 8 is important to her. The two get into a fight, and Annie storms out. Sophia is all alone in her apartment when her memory takes her back to 2001. Sophia is inside a jail cell, aggressively arguing with the cop to release her. The cop refuses, on the grounds that Sophia started a riot over a baseball that she stole from a kid at the game she went to see. It belongs to a 5-year-old kid, and Sophia ripped it out of his weak little hands. Behind Sophia, also inside the holding cell, is Annie. She got arrested for flashing the famous baseball player Barry Bonds at the game. They strike up a conversation with each other. While Sophia is all shades of black, Annie's personality is rainbows and sparkles. But still, the two find common ground in their love for Barry Bonds. Soon, they are released together. While making their way back, Annie tells Sophia about her cosmetology school. She mostly does hair, but wants to get into makeup too. But unlike her, Sophia is a dropout. But the conversation comes to an awkward end, due to Sophia's lack of input. She is a loner like that. While Sophia is going her way, she gets stopped by a very loud lady. She gives her a hard time because of the ball Sophia stole from the little kid. An argument ensues, but Sophia does not let up. The matter starts to escalate in a violent direction. But Annie comes right on time and saves her. She takes Sophia away on her scooter. She drops Sophia off at her house, but asks if she could use Sophia's washroom. Sophia lets her inside the house. Annie is amused by the stuff in Sophia's room. Sophia used to live in Washington, but is staying at her father's house temporarily, until she can get back on her feet again. Annie says Sophia is understandably alone, blaming it on her entire look. Sophia asks if Annie likes the way her hair is, and Annie can't help but laugh. In her professional opinion, she thinks it is terrible. Sophia's hair hides all of her nice features. Feeling like she has talked more than she should have, Annie leaves. Her words have an impact on Sophia, and she follows Annie out. When she finds her, Sophia asks if Annie would cut her hair sometime, and the other girl readily agrees, marking the beginning of their epic friendship journey. In the present, Sophia feels bad about the fight. She thinks back to another wild night in their friendship's history in 2005. Sophia and Annie are getting ready to go clubbing, when Sophia confesses that she does not feel like going. Annie is actually surprised to hear her say that. Sophia reveals how she does not like Veronica, the friend who works at the club and gives them free entry. Veronica never even gives them any free drink stubs, and she calls Sophia coach for some reason, which just annoys her so much. Regardless of that, Veronica runs the party at the club, and they can't do anything about it. Annie convinces her, and Sophia has to turn her frown upside down. The girls get to the club and meet up with Veronica. While Veronica kisses up to Sophia, she still will not give them free drinks. Sophia feels annoyed by her shtick, but Annie gets her to the dance floor. The night gets away from them, drinking and dancing. Getting tired, Sophia takes a seat in a reserved VIP section to rest for a bit. But Veronica finds her and tries to get Sophia to move. Sophia argues that no one is even sitting there, but Veronica is pretty adamant about it. But Sophia is drunk, and she asks the girl to give her some drink tickets. Veronica obviously does not let up, because drink tickets are a reward for the people who bring in other people, and Sophia and Annie are always by themselves. A drunk Sophia takes Veronica's comment as an offense. When Annie gets there and finds out that Veronica offended her friend, she sides with Sophia and snatches all the drink tickets from the fanny pack, throwing them all up in the air. The next memory takes Sophia to 2003. The girls hitch a ride from a good guy trucker to go to Indio. Inside the truck, they spend the ride chatting with the man, and tell him that they are headed to Coachella. Sophia has it all planned out. She has got just enough food stocked in her bag for their long trip to the desert, where the party is at. After a fun ride, the man drops them off at a gas station, where the girls plan to hitch another ride. Sophia leaves the bag in Annie's care while she uses the washroom. Annie notices a cute guy watching her, boldly makes her way to him, and flirts with him. Inside the shop, Sophia shoplifts a stuffed monkey. Annie comes in to tell her about the new ride she got for them with the cute guy, when Sophia notices the missing backpack. Turns out, Annie left it in the car. By the time they run outside, the boys have already taken off. It is almost dawn, but Sophia and Annie keep on walking through the desert, in hopes of finding a ride. Annie does not think they can make it without becoming Coyote Dinner. She implores Sophia to rethink her Coachella plan. But Sophia is stubbornly set on getting there. They finally come across a motel. Sophia tells the owner how the two girls lost their money and food, and that they would like to stay for the night. The motel lady is not interested in negotiating a deal. No matter that the two girls may just freeze out in the cold desert, the lady will just not let up. It triggers Sophia's hot-headedness, and she storms out of the motel. Annie follows her out, apologizing for the mess she has landed them in. She promises to fix it by calling her parents and having them come to get the girls. She begs her to reconsider the plan because they do not have anywhere to stay. But Sophia shouts, saying that she is going to Coachella. She is going to see the polyphonic spree and then join them on the tour later. She is going to do whatever she has to stay with them, even learn to play the violin or fake it. But unless she decides to do something else, or comes up with a different plan, she is going to stay right on the path. Annie can't believe that this was Sophia's plan all along. Where is she supposed to go? She does not fit into Sophia's grand plan. Annie urges her to stop the madness. They have to go home. But Sophia does not want to go home. She is scared and panicked about having to go back to live with her father. She was supposed to be there for only a few weeks. But it has been 2 years, and she is still in his house. Sophia is worried about her life going nowhere. And so, she is adamant about not going back ever again. Annie understands Sophia's fear. She goes up to her friend, lays down next to her at the poolside, and hugs her. She assures Sophia that everything will be okay, and they will figure it all out in the morning. She comforts Sophia, and the two put their disagreement to rest. Sophia has tears in her eyes when Annie tells her that she loves her. Sophia loves her back. She asks Annie to never leave her, and Annie promises she never will. Back in the present, Sophia thinks back on all the memories. She decides the top 8 list on MySpace is not worth losing Annie over. She puts Annie back on the list, and her phone rings almost immediately. It is Annie, gleefully thanking Sophia for putting her back in her top 8.